you must be the unkempt lady of the house? It's Margaret, right? Very nice to meet you. I know it's out of the blue, but I have a favor to ask of you. Would you be so kind as to end your marriage with Donald? You and he just aren't a suitable match for each other, I'm afraid. You should really just let him go so he can find his own happiness with me. Pardon me, but with whom am I speaking? I have no idea who you are. My name is Dolores, and I am currently in a romantic relationship with your husband, Donald. Excuse me? Who? Yes, well, I am well aware of your poor treatment of Donald. He's been very unhappy, you know. He has told me all about how you never go to visit him while he's away on assignment. He tells me that you haven't even gone there to keep him company one time since he's been away. But not to worry. I've been taking good care of him in your place and giving him all the love he's been missing out on in his loveless marriage with you, and more. So please, set him free so that we can be together. It's just the right thing to do, you know. As I said, you and he are just not suited for each other. You two are just incompatible. Now, wait just 1 second, Miss Dolores, was it? I don't know where you got the idea that I never try to visit him there. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's actually the opposite. I've been wanting to go and see him there in Austin, but he told me not to go, for my own safety. He told me it's not safe because there's been a nasty flu going around, and everyone there is sick. He literally told me I better not visit him. Oh, really? What a convenient excuse. All I can say is if it were me, and I really loved my husband like you say you do, I wouldn't let that stop me from going to see him. So, now I see what's been going on. How could I be so blind? Donald has been so adamant that I not go and visit him there in Austin, and now I finally know the reason why. He just didn't want me to find out about his new, younger girlfriend. That figures. Oh, I don't know about all of that. It's all relative, I guess. I mean, compared to a mature woman like you, some people might consider me young. Oh, really? You seem to know so much about me, Dolores. Donald is always telling me that he wants to marry me, but he says he's afraid to break it off with you because you're crazy. So he asked me to do it for him, and here I am, because I love him. Ah, I see. So that's how it is, huh? That also makes sense now that I see the big picture. The cheating husband is too much of a wuss to do it himself, so the homewrecker contacts me on his behalf and tries to pick a fight with me. I can understand why you'd see it that way, but it doesn't need to get ugly or anything. How does $50,000 divorce settlement sound? Would you be satisfied with that? That's definitely more than you're worth, so I assume that you would be okay with it, right? I actually think you should be grateful for that amount. Wow, you really don't mince words, do you? So, you and Don are willing to pay me that much to end our marriage? Yes, absolutely. I'm all for it, and so is he. If that's what it costs to make Donald mine and have him all to myself, it's worth it. Money well spent. Again, wow. You must really have money to burn. Either that or you really love him. Maybe both, I guess. $50,000 is a lot of cash. I suppose that it's your entire savings account? What's a savings account? Savings is not something I've ever troubled myself with, ma'am. I'm lucky like that. If I need money, I just ask my daddy. He loves me a lot. Yeah, Daddy always has my back. 50,000 is no big deal at all. Oh, is that so? How nice for you. My daddy owns his own company, and it's a really good company. Money is never an issue, ever. All I have to do is ask, and he'll make sure I have whatever I need because I'm Daddy's little girl. And when I tell him it's for my future husband, he'll be even more happy to cover the expense. I can't wait to tell him about Donald. Oh, I think I get the picture now. You're one of those spoiled new money kids, aren't you? Yes, I am. And I'm proud to say it. Listen, you have no choice of winning this fight, so you just need to divorce him and save us all a lot of time. Donald! What on earth have you been up to over there? I just heard that you've really been enjoying yourself while you've been away, supposedly working.
Huh? What do you mean? What's this all about all of a sudden?
One word. Dolores. Does that name ring a bell? Don't even try to deny it.
What the? How did you find out about her? Who have you been talking to? I haven't said a word about her to anyone. There's no way you heard about her from anyone but...
Yes, you were going to say anyone but her, and that's right. She contacted me herself. Wasn't that nice of her? She tells me that you and she have been together for quite a while now. How nice for you both.
She told you what? That's not true. Listen to me, Marge. It's not true. All it was with her was fun and games. It was nothing serious, not at all. I only love you. So please, baby, please don't say anything to your dad about all of this, okay? Please.
Oh, don't worry about that. I have no intention of talking to my parents about any of this ridiculous stuff. It's so beneath both them and me.
Really? That's great. Thanks.
However, I do want a divorce immediately. I absolutely loathe cheaters like you, Don, and I won't stand for it. Your girlfriend Dolores told me that you've been whispering sweet nothings in her ear and telling her that you want to divorce me and marry her. So I'm going to grant you your wish. You're welcome.
Wait, Marge, it's not like that. I swear it's not. Please, please don't leave me. I only love you. I swear she means nothing to me. It was just fun and games. That's all and nothing more.
Why so desperate all of a sudden, Don? It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Dolores tells me that her daddy owns a great big company and he gives her whatever she wants. She says Daddy will pay me $50,000 in a heartbeat if I give you to her. Isn't that nice? I think I'll take her up on it, too. You really found yourself a high-quality homewrecker there. Well played.
Wait, what did you say? About her dad? Dolores's dad owns a company? Really?
Oh, come on. Are you saying you knew nothing about that? You're lying. Aren't you two an item, as in dating? Because that's what she told me. How do you not know about her family?
Well, yeah, we've been dating, but she never told me anything about her dad being wealthy or anything. Now that you mention it, though, I did think that she seemed to have a bit more money and resources than other girls her age. I mean, she really goes overboard with the expensive gifts and stuff like that. She's been giving me Gucci neckties every month on our anniversary. Those are not cheap, for sure. And she even gave me an Armani suit. I can't even guess how much that thing cost. Thousands, I bet.
Yeah, she clearly has a lot of cash to spend. That's exactly the kind of stuff you hear about kids with that much money. They just spend it like it's nothing. That's because it is nothing to them.
Wow, that actually makes sense. Now that I'm hearing this from you, I had no idea that she came from such a rich family. What a happy discovery. So, this means that you and I can get divorced without any problems for me. Then it's settled. You and I are through. I don't really have any more use for you, and you're past your expiration date anyway.
Excuse me? Did you actually just say that to me?
Look, there's just no contest between you and her, Marge. I mean, come on. She's young, cute, and rich. You're just gonna have to get over this and move on. So get those divorce papers signed and sent, Grandma. This is the end for us.
Seriously? You're just going to turn on me just like that? What kind of a scumbag are you anyway? Never mind. Now I know exactly what kind of scumbag you are. You're the kind of scumbag that I need to get out of my life ASAP. Fine. Get your butt in gear and send me those papers. I'll sign them and return them to you as soon as is humanly possible. I want to wash my hands of you forever.
Got it. You'll have them very soon.
And by the way, don't forget to include the written statement when you send them.
Statement? What statement would that be?
If we want the divorce to go smoothly, you should include a written statement which says that your cheating is the reason for the divorce and that due to that fact, you're agreeing to pay me that settlement fee. And don't forget to have Dolores sign it too.
I see. It's all in the interest of a smooth divorce? Okay then. I'll get that done and send it to you ASAP.
Come on already. Sign the divorce papers and send them in. Donald's side is all done. The divorce papers, the written statement, and everything. You've had it for a week now. Take it easy. Unlike you, I work for a living and I can't just go to the lawyer's office on a whim anytime I like. But I just so happen to have some time this afternoon, so I'm on my way to get that done right now. Really? Yay! So all that's left after that is for us to file those papers. Donald and I will be man and wife any day now. I can see it. And on that note, I do need to confirm one important point with you. You really do intend to pay me that $50,000 settlement fee, right? Of course. It goes without saying. I told you, did I not, that my daddy owns his own company and he always takes care of these things for me? You should know by now that I'm not some ordinary housewife like yourself. I have money. So rest assured, the payment has already been arranged. Oh, okay. Phew, that's a load off my mind. You really are as good as your word. Yes, well, I told you my daddy owns his company. That's why I always get what I want. And that's why Donald loves me so much. You know, you just can't compete with someone like me, Margaret. I'm young and rich, and there's just no beating that. But I do feel sorry for you, really. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, Don chose you, so that's that. But it's weird, you know. At first, he kept saying that you and he were nothing serious. He said it was all just fun and games. But then when I told him that you're rich, he completely changed his tune and told me he wants a divorce and to marry you. So I'm curious, why were you hiding that from him? It really doesn't make any sense. I mean, he knew nothing about your family and their money. Nothing at all. Oh, that? Well, basically, I was just waiting for the right time to talk about it with him. And that's because if I say anything about that kind of stuff too soon, it brings out the gold diggers, if you know what I mean. So I've learned to not say anything about it until I've known someone for a while. It's a burden in that way, to be honest. But a person like you wouldn't know anything about such burdens, now would you? Actually, I know a lot about them. Big titles and high positions can definitely be burdensome, no doubt. Oh, come on. No need to put on airs, dear. I know all of this is foreign to you. I mean, there's no way an older lady of limited means like yourself could understand my burdens. So let's not waste any more time, shall we? Get those papers signed and delivered, right? Quick. There is a cool $50,000 waiting for you, so hop to it. It's a huge amount of money for a commoner like you, I know. Yeah, so you obviously don't know who I am, do you? Huh? I asked because I can tell by the way you're talking to me that he hasn't told you anything about me. What about you? You mean something besides the fact that you're an aging housewife? A pathetic old lady who just had her husband stolen out from under her? Actually, I'm a bit more than that, dear. You see, I'm also the daughter of a wealthy businessman. So yeah, I may be an old lady to you, but I'm also the daughter of a wealthy family, just like you. No, I don't think so. You're not like me, not at all. I mean, I bet your dad's company is no big deal. I bet it's some kind of cut-rate local business that's run by your parents and they're the only ones working there. Actually, Dad's company has about 100,000 employees all over the country. Huh? But you know, Toyota has something like 300,000 employees, so I guess Dad's company is small time compared to them. What? Wait a minute. 100,000 employees? That can't be true. I mean, your dad's company is really that big? Yeah, I guess you could say that. If a company has that many employees, it's pretty big, I guess. So how big is your dad's business? I'm all ears. Please do tell. What? Why? Oh, I'm just thinking that I or my parents might have met your parents somewhere at some point. After all, your parents and mine are both business owners, and you and I are both wealthy daughters of business owners, so we may have bumped into each other at a party or something sometime. Party? What party do you mean? I've never been to any parties like that with my parents. What? Really? You know, like those parties that companies like to do for founding anniversaries and CEOs' anniversaries and such. Kids of bigwigs like you and me usually get all kinds of invitations to those things. When I was younger, I used to go to those things with my dad all the time. I don't even know what you're talking about. Are you trying to say that my dad and his company aren't important enough to get me invited to those events? No, that's not my intention at all. But let's get back to the original question that I asked you. How big is your dad's company? Tell me about it. How many employees? Is it local, regional, or national? Tell me everything. Well, it's... Oh, don't worry. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. I can find that stuff out really easily anyway. And I actually did already. My dad's secretary looked everything up for me. You did? Yes, and it says here that Daddy's company is only doing business in Oklahoma. What else? Oh yes, it also says here that the main business is junk removal and that the number of employees is around 20 people, including family members working there. Oh, and that the company is well regarded by the local community and has no legal actions pending against it. Isn't that nice? You're making fun of us, aren't you? You think it's funny because my dad's company does junk removal? No, not at all. Absolutely not. After all, everyone has junk and needs it removed sooner or later. And as a matter of fact, it seems like my dad's company actually used your dad's company for something once. Huh? Really? Yeah, and apparently they're considering doing it again fairly soon. It sounds like they're talking about giving your dad's company some business again when they start this big new project up there. Oh, my. Wait a minute. Dad was saying just recently that he was hoping this big contract was going to come through soon. Don't tell me the project he was talking about is with your dad's company. Well, it does look that way, to be honest. I doubt it's a coincidence. No! Wait a minute. This can't be true. You're telling me that you, Donald's ex-wife, are the daughter of the owner of the company that my own dad is doing business with? But don't worry. I have no intention of saying anything about any of this to anyone at the company. I mean, just because you're the homewrecker who stole my husband from me and your dad needs my dad's business. Come on! I'd never tell my dad about something as sordid as that. Really? You mean that? Of course I do. However, I would like to meet with Donald one more time after the divorce is finalized. It's just kind of sad and anticlimactic to end our marital relationship with just a piece of paper, don't you think? I'd really like to see him face to face and say our goodbyes that way. Also, I'd very much like to meet your parents and introduce myself to them. What? Meeting Don's ex-wife shouldn't be a big deal, right? Oh, no. Stop it right now, please. Please don't come around or try to meet my parents. I'm begging you. Please don't mention any of this to my mom and dad.
Marge, please, you gotta hold off on submitting those divorce papers.
What? Why?
It's about Dolores. She was completely making things up. She told me she's the daughter of a big company president, and that's why I decided to marry her. But the truth is that her dad's company is just a little junk removal business with only 20 employees. This is a disaster.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a junk removal company. And anyway, I don't think you have any right to criticize either her or her family.
You shut up. I don't want to inherit that junk business. I hate junk. And they're telling me that your dad's company is doing business with them too. No way am I marrying that girl. Her family business is just embarrassing.
Oh, it's no big deal, Don. Come on. Work is work and private is private. I don't confuse the two, and neither does my dad, for sure.
Marge, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Let's start over, you and me. I was an idiot to cheat on you, and I'll never do it again. My assignment here in Austin is going to be finished soon, and I'll be back home with you again.
Oh, just don't. Don't try to sweet-talk me after all you've done and all that's happened. Who in their right mind would start over with you after all that? And besides, I heard that your assignment there has been extended indefinitely. They're saying that it's going to be permanent.
Excuse me? Permanent? And how would you know about it?
It's because there's a lot of paperwork that comes with divorce, like insurance forms and so forth. I was trying to fill out some of that stuff and needed to call your company for some information, so I heard it directly from them. I told them you and I are getting divorced because you cheated on me during your assignment in Austin, and I need to know if there's any paperwork I need to fill out.
You cannot be serious.
Yeah, and then the next day your boss came over to the house to talk to me. He was super nice and helpful with the paperwork, and he's the one who told me about your permanent assignment. He told me I don't have to worry about you anymore because he's going to permanently assign you over there.
My boss?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he knows who I am and who my dad is. He really didn't need to get involved with this whole situation, but he did anyway. And like I said, super helpful. And he was just so considerate too. I really can't thank him enough.
You cannot possibly be serious. He told you I'm not going back to HQ. I have to stay here indefinitely? I can't go back?
Hey, look on the bright side. You and Dolores will be close to each other now, too, indefinitely. I'm wishing you nothing but happiness. Margaret, what am I going to do? Donald says he wants to break up with me. I can't believe this. What? Why? He said he doesn't want to marry a junkyard girl. He says I misled him about my family and he wants to break up, and we were supposed to get married. Now he says he wants to call it all off. Oh my, what a selfish man he is. I know, right? He's just awful. And you know who else is awful? My dad. After he talked to Don, he actually called me an idiot for getting involved with a married man. And then he told me that he wouldn't help me pay the $50,000 to you for the divorce settlement. Oh my word, that's really a tough spot to be in. So how do you intend to pay my $50,000? Will you take it out of your savings? I don't have that kind of money in my savings. All I've ever done is help out at home and stuff like that. I've never had a job or earned a paycheck. The only money I've ever had is from my allowance. And $50,000 in my savings? I've never saved enough for that to happen. I spend it. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to try and get out of it? Obviously, that's my only option. I'll just ignore it and get on with my life. Business as usual. And who actually pays settlement fees anyway? After all, it's not like the one who got cheated on is automatically in the right anyway. Why should they get paid? Well, I really made the right choice getting that written statement from you both. What? It's a very good thing that I made sure to get both your signatures on that statement before. It clearly states that Donald's infidelity with you was the cause of our divorce, and that the settlement fee of $50,000 is direct compensation for that infidelity. It's all there in black and white, with both your signatures. The authorities aren't going to let you get out of it, I promise you. Oh, no, you're right. I did sign that paper because Donald told me to. Yes, you did, and I fully intend to make sure that you take responsibility for your actions with my husband. And if you try to evade that responsibility, I will speak with your father directly. I will tell him that his daughter is trying to break her promise to me. You wouldn't dare! From what I've heard, your folks are reasonable and down-to-earth people. I think they'll want to hear what I have to say. Who knows, maybe if I talk to them, they'll take over your debt. Wait, please don't do that. Please don't bring them into this, please. If they get any more angry with me than they already are, they might just disown me. Then I think you know what you need to do, Dolores. I'll send you the settlement fee paperwork today, and I'll be on the lookout for your payment. Soon after that, I sent the settlement paperwork. Getting that payment from her, however, took much longer than expected. This, I was told, was due to the fact that Dolores had been trying unsuccessfully to get Don to help pay it. Around that same time, Dolores found out that she was pregnant, and she and Donald decided to finally get married. Her parents finally agreed to take over her debt to me, and I finally was able to get paid what I was owed. Donald quit his old job and went to work for his new father-in-law at the junk disposal company to help pay back the money for the settlement fee. The family business doesn't pay very well, however, and with the settlement money being taken out of every paycheck, he's not left with much. As newlywed living situations go, it's far from ideal. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button. If you didn't, feel free to give us your opinion in the comments section below. Also, please follow our channel. Your opinions and comments keep us going. We have many more videos that we're sure you'll enjoy, so please check them all out.
What are the chances that we saw each other by chance today? I'm so happy getting to see my sister after such a long time. I'm glad. It seemed like you've been doing great these days.
Yeah, I'm also glad. It sure is nice to see you again. Must be nice to swing around all that gold on your neck. You sure it's not too heavy? You could always put them away in that nice leather bag of yours. I'm gonna assume you're living pretty well then.
I mean, it's pretty normal, right? After all, Kenny does make a lot, you know? Makes more digits than the average guy out there. So, yep, I'm living a quite okay life out here. Does feel pretty good.
Oh, you guys are still together? I'm glad things seem to be going well for now.
And what about you? Do you have a partner? Or someone you're talking to? Do I get to hear something from my sister? After all, it's already been 7 years since Kenny dumped you. Isn't it about time? It's been so long. There's no way you still haven't gotten over him, right?
Oh God, please don't tell me. Well, no, there isn't really someone in my life right now. Haven't had a single lover since the divorce.
No way! Really? So you were single the entire time? 7 years? And you're telling me that you haven't found anyone during that time? Is it me, or is your life just, like, really sad? It sounds pretty tragic if you think about it.
And whose fault do you think that is? You of all people have the audacity to say that. Having my husband stolen away from me. By my own little sister, no less. And that man fabricating non-existent mistakes to get me fired. Just because he felt it was too awkward to work at the same office as me. I'm literally doing my hardest to get my life back on track over here.
Oof. It's so tough, isn't it? When you lose your husband and your job as a woman, I can only imagine how painful that must be. Well, I certainly couldn't take living like that. No way.
Are you trying to anger me or what?
No. I'm trying to say that I'm here for you. I know that you have what it takes to overcome this hardship. You've always been good at fighting against struggles, right? You're the older sister I'm proudest of, and my role model, after all.
And so you stole my husband? From this older sister that you're so proud of? I'm not quite able to understand how you're able to say something so inconsiderate. It doesn't matter if we're family. There's boundaries to what you can say, you know that?
Why am I being attacked here? Kenny's my husband now. I'm simply speaking the truth. I don't want to lie to my own sister. It would make things awkward between us, right? I just thought you were over it already. So I assumed it was okay to mention that he's mine now. Sorry for being so inconsiderate. It just didn't strike me that I'd hurt you like that. I've just been too busy enjoying doing housework every day, while enjoying the amazing view from the 61st floor. Time passes really quickly just gazing through the windows, waiting for my hubby to come home. It seems like I didn't have the mental space to also care for whatever tragedies you seem to be going through here.
Oh, so that's how it is, huh? This thieving weasel sister of mine, ripping away all my chances of happiness, is now flexing her upper-class lifestyle? Must be nice. I'm sure all of that is completely deserved. Must feel good to be rewarded.
Oh, it reminds me. You should check my Instagram. I seem to be getting quite a lot of followers recently. People seem to like seeing the bourgeois life, I guess. There's some cute pics of Kenny and I that I want you to see.
As if I would want to see. Makes me want to puke just thinking about it. And I don't have that kind of time to spare anyways.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I forgot you were broke and single for 7 years. Of course you wouldn't want to see happy photos. You wouldn't be able to relate at all. You poor thing. I am so inconsiderate. Oops.
And who are you talking about right now?
You, of course. Who else? You lost your husband, your job, and your house, right? I don't know anyone who's less financially stable. And it's even been 7 years. What an absolute tragedy, being homeless for that long. No wonder you can't find a partner. Why did I even ask?
I don't know where you got this information that I'm homeless. I'm literally not.
Stop. You don't have to try so hard to hide it from me. When I saw you today, you literally have this huge suitcase with you. You just carry that around with you everywhere, right? From park to park, sometimes on the street, sometimes down by the river, laying down a few sheets of cardboard. That sounds gross. I feel so sorry for you. Such a big change from the life you had. From a happily married and working life to whatever you're doing right now to survive.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, my bad. I called you homeless, but sorry if that was incorrect. I don't really know about that kind of stuff. Like, are there different tiers or something? Like, you're not homeless if you have a set place for your cardboard box. I'm sorry if you were part of one of the more established tiers of homeless.
So, Chloe, don't you think it's about time you hit the brakes with your nonsense? Stop mocking me.
I'm not mocking you. How is this mocking? I simply respect you so much that I'm speaking my true feelings. That you could spend 7 years on the streets. I'm just simply amazed. I could never do the same. So I just respect you that much. It's truly amazing that my sister could pull off such a feat. I'm proud.
And that's exactly what I meant by your mockery.
Well, I wish you luck on the streets. I'm sure there's no advice that someone like me could give to a veteran of 7 years. But I could maybe spare you $100 if I ever come across you again. Don't worry, it's really not much. I guess it might seem like an absolute fortune to you, but $100 is basically spare change for me, so don't feel bad.
Hey, May. So I heard you saw Chloe. You better not have spread any of those homeless germs onto her. Stay away. Got it?
Not you two.
I've already heard everything from Chloe. She told me all about you and your miserable life. She was saying that you guys saw each other by chance, but that's not what happened, right? I know for sure you were just waiting for her in ambush to see her. Were you trying to plead her for money or what? An absolute embarrassment. To think that you have stooped so low.
Can you stop with these weird delusions? It was literally nothing more than a coincidence. And you guys are the ones trying to make a big deal out of this.
As if I'd believe that. Our life is totally incompatible to yours, and you expect there to be some sort of coincidence that you ran into each other? Nice try.
You're speaking nonsense. Again.
I heard you still don't have a house. Seriously? I'm just imagining a woman like you, dragging along a huge suitcase looking for a dry place to sleep. I can't. You know you're not even young anymore. What an embarrassing life you're living. Complete night and day to us, living up here in our luxury apartment.
Sure. Must be nice. Congrats to you. An absolute scum of a man who betrayed his wife with her sister. A match made in heaven with the other pile of trash too, I must say. Yeah, no wonder you're living different lives from me, when I'm actually capable of being a decent person. I'm the one here who didn't want to see that scum's face today. Or ever again, for that matter. To then have that followed up by getting messages from someone like you. Today is truly the second worst day of my life.
Wow, your unlikable attitude hasn't changed. And it's exactly because you're like this that you're still living this miserable life of yours. Don't ever show your face in front of us again. Got it? You better get lost and stay lost.
Hi, May. I hope you're still alive. I'm sure you must be struggling to fill your stomach. And I have some good news for your poor soul. This wholesome little sister of yours can bring you something to eat. So you won't starve to death tonight.
Can you stop bothering me? I thought you guys were the ones telling me to go away.
Well, the thing is, we have a bit too much food up here to finish. But it would be a waste to throw it away, you know? So I just thought we'd be real nice and share some with the homeless.
Thanks for your consideration. Really nice of you. But I want none of it, thank you very much. So you guys should try your best to finish it yourselves. Don't want to throw any away, after all.
Are you sure you can afford to act so tough? You might not find any food tonight. It's a steak night for us, but we even have some ribs. And there's even cake for dessert. I bet you haven't had steak in years. I wonder if you've even had the chance to eat meat. Cake, too. I'm sure you're drooling right now.
And so what happened for there to be so much of this nice food left over?
It was a celebration dinner for Kenny, so I just got a bit overexcited, you know? And ended up buying way too much. It's just that when you have so much money to the point that you don't have to care, these things just happen in the spur of the moment.
All right. Cool story, Chloe. And what were you celebrating?
Well, you want to know? I don't mind telling you. You know, Kenny got a promotion. And now that he's one of the roles in charge of things, at such a big company, too, his salary is going to be even more juicy.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, for sure you should celebrate that.
To think that he could get a promotion and earn even more than he's already earning. What a pleasant surprise. I really wasn't expecting more income. Maybe having a good wife leads to more motivation for the husband to work harder. He must have changed after getting married. It just means that Kenny and I are basically made for each other, right? We must be a perfect match.
Sure.
What a pity. You never have thought that the guy that left you would grow to become such a fine man, did you? If I recall correctly, when he was married to you, he was still earning an entry-level salary, right? It only took 7 years for his development to become the man he is now. You really made a mistake to let him leave you.
Yeah, you're right. Back then, I had a bigger role and was the one in control of people like him. To think that Kenny worked his way up to a manager role, huh?
Hey, are you jealous of me? Frustrated? Are you regretting everything? I bet you are. Don't even try to hide it. You've always been such a smart girl, haven't you? Everything always went your way. You were Mom and Dad's favorite, had a lot of friends and people that looked up to you. That same sister of mine is now living such a pitiful life, though. I can't. It feels way too good that your life is looking completely miserable in comparison to mine.
So that's why? For such a boring, pitiful reason, you took Kenny from me? You were saying whatever nonsense about how you and him were so perfect with each other. But in actual fact, you just wanted to assert your dominance over me to protect your fragile little ego. To even go as far as sleeping with my husband. It's just so wrong. What the hell were you thinking?
Oh, the only thing I wanted was to have a better life than you. I just want to make sure that I'm happy. And you're not. And I want to live freely, drinking champagne in my room while looking at the great view from above, having zero worries about what I swipe my card on. And then I'll be trying my best to look for your little shadow all the way down on the street.
What a worthless reason to live for. Absolutely disgusting scum of a human being.
Sorry, anything you say to me right now just sounds like a whole bunch of crying and regret. And to think that the man I stole from you even got promoted. I'm so lucky. He's now earning more than $170K a year. I can imagine the tears flowing down your face right now.
$170K annually? Oh, that's less than what I earn in a month. He got a promotion, right? He really had me there. I was expecting so much more. So much talk about his salary being so good, living the rich life and whatnot. 170K, I see. I didn't know when I was still working there, but I guess it wasn't really worth staying if that's what the higher-end salaries are looking like.
Hey, hold on a sec. What do you mean? 170K is less than what you earn a month?
Exactly what I said. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's certainly not bad. But for such an important role and with the cost of living in this city, well, I'm surprised you guys can even pay for that apartment. So yeah, I'm not sure if you were trying to make me jealous, but it really wasn't working. I'm earning plenty by myself over here. Not sure if I couldn't care less about Kenny's salary. If you're happy that he was promoted, good for you, I guess. I don't need to know about it, though.
No, but wait. Over 170K? In a month? I still don't believe you. Do you understand how much that is? What kind of joke is that? Seriously. You're basically telling me that your annual salary is over $1 million?
A bit over 2 mil, actually. I do own a business, after all.
You have your own company?
That's right.
Even though you're homeless?
I still don't know where you got that from, but it's been 7 years already. Of course I have a job. Even though that scummy husband of yours did his best to get me fired. It wasn't that hard to find a new job after that. But that's also in the past now. I decided to go independent and start something myself. And here I am now, with my own company. Everything seems to be going well recently, so we've become quite big, I must say.
Big enough that you're earning millions?
Yep, last year's profits were easily over $15 million.
Are you kidding me?
But this is just the start. I think I can take this company to bigger heights.
But over $15 million in profits? That's unbelievable.
Well, thanks to that, the taxes are also getting pretty ridiculous. It's such a bother to deal with. That's one of the pains I'd never have experienced just telling Kenny about how to fill spreadsheets properly back in my old company. Oh god, those times were painful. But now I have these completely new worries to take care of as a CEO.
You're really expecting me to believe all of this, aren't you? Where's your proof? What business are you running?
My company does the consultation and dispatching of and for housekeepers, nannies, cleaners, and caretakers. It's just something I came up with when I was trying to think of how to use my own experiences when I was a wife working full-time. Back when I was living with Kenny, we basically had a housekeeper who'd do all the work around home for us. Cleaning, cooking, laundry, and stuff. The issue was, everything was such a bother. Trying to match their schedule with mine and Kenny's, deciding payments, whether they were suited for our house and whatnot. I had so many complaints. Not to the housekeepers, but to the system itself, I guess. Where I had just thought that if it were a little more like this or that, the whole process would be way more effortless. That sums it up, basically. I just took those issues and decided to start a service where clients could easily find and hire their ideal housekeepers. And the housekeepers would have a platform to be able to advertise themselves and find work more conveniently.
And you're telling me that's making millions of profit?
Yeah, it's been greatly successful. Our network has any housekeeper you could ever need. Those specialized to work specific hours, those that are available to stay overnight, weekend specific, the list goes on. Easing the requirements to make an application for the housekeeping network lets us have a large enough worker base to be able to make very specific categories of workers to match with our clients. The more specific and narrow we made the categories, the more success it brought for us. At that point, the profits just wouldn't stop increasing. And once we had some financial breathing room, well, we could then start branching off to provide more services.
Okay, I get it. You really did start your own business. I'm still in such disbelief at the profits, though. $50 million. You're telling me you made such a turnaround after losing your husband and your job? Why do you have to be like this? You were meant to be miserable and homeless. All I wanted was for you to come crying to me, begging me for food and money.
Oh, funnily enough, you're not wrong about the fact that I'm homeless, though. I don't currently own a house.
Even though you're making millions? What?
It's actually out of choice, though, just because I think it's important to have a change of environment every now and then.
But how are you living?
I'm just staying at random hotels. Sometimes it's in the middle of the city, other times I stay for a month down by the beach, or even take a flight somewhere with a completely different feel.
That's not what being homeless is.
Oh, really? Well, I'm not technically wrong about it either, right?
What about that huge suitcase you were dragging around with you?
What do you mean? You already guessed it correctly. That's just the suitcase that I have everything in, because I don't have a house. I'm always moving from place to place. It's just convenient that I keep everything with me wherever I go. I guess I strayed off a little from our original conversation. So, you were offering me the leftovers of your special steak night, right? Well, I'm sorry. I really don't need it. I'm having dinner with one of our important shareholders, you see.
What the heck? That sounds like something a CEO would be doing.
That's what I am, and what I've been telling you. Anyways, make sure that you don't forget that every meal has a person who made it. And as the person that bought all that food, you should be responsible and have the courtesy to not throw any of it away.
Hey, is what Chloe told me true? Are you seriously running your own company? Making millions every year?
You told me not to show my face to you guys. I would appreciate it if you didn't go out of your way to contact me.
Oh, who cares about that? I just want to know if what Chloe told me is true, and that you're not just tricking her. You better not have been lying about how much you're earning. I also heard that your company is doing even better recently, and you'll be making more profit.
Well, yeah. That's what it seems like for now.
Wow. Okay, I've decided. I'm gonna change jobs and start working with you.
Did you not literally just get a promotion recently? Why would you even consider leaving your current job?
Well, yeah, but I wasn't exactly that excited about it, you know. It was basically Chloe who was pushing for it. She would keep nagging me to work harder for a promotion. I didn't mind, really. I mean, I did also want a raise, so I thought it was worth trying for it, but like, come on. I worked so hard for 7 years, and the best they could do was $170K a year. And the new managing role I got promoted to. I swear to you that the workload and responsibilities are way too much for what the salary's worth. I think the better option for me was to just not bother with trying for a promotion, and instead look to find a better company to transfer to.
Yeah, I think that's becoming the more common thought process these days. I see how it could be the better option. Sure, it might not go well, but it could lead to a way better salary.
I tried talking to Chloe about this, but she didn't seem to like the idea.
Why?
She just didn't want me to take a risk. I mean, I see why she would say that, but she would also tell me to push for a promotion. Come on, I'm the one who's working so hard every day. But I just thought that maybe she would be fine with the idea if I transfer over to your company. Surely she wouldn't worry about a company run by her own sister, right? Hey, what if there was a guy with a leading role at a big corporation who said that they would be willing to work for you? Please, you know I have a lot of experience too. Can you just hire me? I'd be fine with $300K a year. Please.
Sure, I'd be willing to hire you if you're going to work hard for me. How does $1K a month sound for a starting salary?
Why so low?
Sure, you can work for me, but you'd be working as a housekeeper. You'd be doing chores for our clients. And seeing as you have no experience, $1K. Take it or leave it. Oh, this is completely negotiable, though. If you get some qualifications or if you keep up good reviews with our clients, I'd be down to discuss a new salary with you.
You're kidding me, right? What makes you think you can hire me for $1K?
You're the one who needs to stop with the jokes here. What do you mean you're fine with $300K? Are you delusional? Who do you think you are?
Your ex-husband. Come on, we used to be so close with each other. It makes me sad that you're treating me like this. We're not strangers, right? I don't think I'm asking too much here.
Well, I disagree with you. We are strangers. Sure, we were once married, but you betrayed me. Now you're no longer anything more than a stranger to me. Besides, you are asking for way, way too much. $300K is a ridiculous amount.
I'm just so done with my company. You know about it too, right? The industry is becoming smaller every year. It was bad when you left. It's even worse now. I worked so darn hard for this promotion for so long, but we're still not even sure if we can afford to have a kid in this city. I just simply don't see a future in my job. How is this supposed to get any better? My workload has been way too much recently. Having to understand the progress of all my team members. To top it off, when they make mistakes, I'm the one who's responsible as their manager. Even our new president. He's worthless compared to the one from before. When you were still here, there were at least attempts to solve the shrinking industry and lack of clients. But now, nope. Our new president either doesn't care or he's completely incapable. When the company I work for is in this kind of state, where my role is too important for me to slack off but not important enough that I can change anything, I'm better off just leaving and working elsewhere.
And you thought that coming to your ex-wife was a good idea? Do you have any sense of pride or dignity?
Please, it's not that big of a deal, is it? Hey, I have another idea. You can even hire me as your secretary. You'd prefer that, right? I heard you're still single, right? Chloe told me that you hadn't even had a boyfriend the entire 7 years after our breakup. Instead of being so lonely all by yourself, I can at least keep you company while you're working at the office. But only as your secretary, of course. I wouldn't mind being your boyfriend, too. But only if I'd be paid extra.
Do you understand right now that you're talking to the president of the company you're trying to transfer to? Do you have any manners in this empty head of yours?
But it's between us, though. Who cares about manners?
As I said, you are no more than a complete stranger to me now. You're going completely over the line of what's acceptable or not. So I will be reporting this to the HR at your company. I'm not sure how they'd like it, hearing that one of their more important employees is being such a nuisance. Trying to get hired so informally, without even sending your resume. Absolutely unreasonable.
Also, I'm not in need of another secretary, thank you very much. My current one is so capable, the report's already been sent to your company.
Wait, you are being serious?
Don't worry. I made sure to add that you had many complaints about your company. Maybe they'll hear you out about the issues, and you can solve them together. I'd much prefer it if you could talk about your workload and salary to the people at your company who actually might care about it.
Stop messing with me! You went way too far. You can't be serious about reporting this to HR.
The only thing that's going too far here is your ridiculous attitude towards me. Get off your high horse and stop with your petty nonsense. Oh, what was that again? About your life being completely incomparable to mine? Well then, I hope you never contact me or show your face in front of me ever again. From what I heard after, it seemed that Kenny's company seemed to be very understanding of his complaints. After finding out about how he didn't like his promotion, he was reverted back to being a regular member of the office without a leading role. The company president didn't seem to enjoy the comparison being made to the previous president either, resulting in some unfavorable bias towards Kenny and his faraway dreams of a salary increase. I even heard that caused him to be sent off to a different branch, off in the middle of nowhere. Chloe was enraged at Kenny as her dream life of looking down at people from a high floor was over. As a result, they seemed to have a pretty big argument, resulting in things being thrown, TV screens being broken, holes in the wall. I heard it started with Chloe's complaints, but I guess something within Kenny that he had always been holding back had finally snapped. What followed was a barrage of words from Kenny about his complaints that Chloe should also be working, that she should start working at my company, and thus the blame game started. And from what I know of, they seem to be on the verge of divorce. While I agree that it would be great if she started working, it does baffle me that an assumption was made that I would hire her. After all of the hell that she has put me through over the years, she would have to pay me to hire her. I'd say $1,000 a month sounds reasonable. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit like if you enjoyed this video and make sure to subscribe to see more similar content. See you in the next video.